aka Just Joshing. I am your host, Joshua Pantellaresco. I am joined by this Eric Umali guy. We'll talk about him in just a minute. But first things first, we're going to talk about the martial arts extraordinaire, illustrator, rock star, Zoey Salidas. How's that for an intro? Did you like that?
I just ripped out my hair. Could be better.
Could be better. What would you like? Like, what would you like?
Welcome to the Zoey Show. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
So we have established that she is a McDonald's fan. We have figured this out.
Oh boy.
It took me a minute. She's gonna make me crave French fries when this is all over. I think
They're good. Okay.
Okay. See, that's the master plan. She's trying to get us all addicted to. She secretly advertised McDonald's, Eric. But anyway, so Eric, first, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Good. Thank you for having us. Just looking here to spread the word about our little masterpiece, Wild Rave Baby. And yeah, I keep telling Katie and Zoe that it really wouldn't be possible without them. You know, I've had this silly idea in my head for a couple of years, but they're really the ones that brought it to life. So yeah, and thank you for having us on your show.
No, it's no problem. So
Yeah.
Zoe, we asked her, is this like a hip hip hooray or just a hooray? We settled on hooray and half a jumping jack.
Hooray!
Hooray. Yeah, there you go. Hooray, half a jumping jack. That's what we decided on because one, she doesn't have enough room to do a full anything else in the room. But the other thing, dude, it's just like, yes, as you can see, folks, Zoe is incredibly talented.
Yeah.
Right? Incredibly, edibly talented, and definitely should be somebody that people should be looking at. And for down the road, she wants it. Actually, I'll ask this, Miss Zoe, did you have fun illustrating the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You did? So,
yeah, it was fun.
Yes. So how was it work? Oh, okay. I know this because I've seen very talented people at the age of 10. And I know this, like, there's a little bit of an inadequacy thing because you look at it, it's like, how are they so good so fast? Right. And right. I have that little in my head when I ever interview somebody that's already has accomplished something as big as this. It's like, how did you have it? Like, I don't know what the secret was, but the other thing is, like, you're working with a book. So when you had, this was your idea. So when you approached Zoe, what was how did this come about?
I mean, I was very collaborative. I just pretty much posed the idea to her and said, here's my idea about this baby that gets lost at a music festival. You know, here's some reference material. Obviously, she hasn't been to a festival, EDC. She doesn't really know anything about this world. And not saying that I'm an expert. I just thought it'd be a great atmosphere to combine these worlds of a baby and a music festival. It shouldn't happen. And, you know, she brought back a lot of pictures and it was great. You know, I sent her some reference photos of me and my wife and my son at Life is Beautiful. And that's kind of the genesis of most of the cover art and illustrations. So to put together a world that she doesn't know anything about, she did it great. And, you know, hopefully we didn't burn her out because I know that mom was back there cracking the whip, making sure she gets done with her 4 illustrations a week or whatever it may be. But I know it wasn't easy. That was a lot of pictures. It was a short time frame. And I don't know how she did it, but thanks to both of them.
So how many pictures did you draw for this, Zoe?
There is. Let me count the pictures real quick.
Oh, okay, you count the pictures. While you do that, I'll ask Eric this.
Yeah.
So like right place, right time. Like it was just something that you had that Zoe was interested in doing, or was it something you were interested to bring? You saw something on Zoe's that thought she could do this.
Yeah, I mean, I did approach a couple artists before this, but obviously, you know, they're not going to give me the time of day. They're professionals. Not saying that Zoe isn't, but you know, it just doesn't. Unless you're not saying you're not, but unless you know they had a big check, it's like okay, I'm not gonna get a time of day from them. So I the good thing about this project is that there was no like pressure to get it done in a certain amount of time. It'd be different if it was like I have someone breathing down my neck. I need the book done now. But the fact that just kind of, yeah, like you mentioned, right place, right time, and I knew that Zoey was artistically talented, talking to her mom in class, and just shooting the shit, and she sent me some pictures of her work. I'm like, yeah, she's great. Let's see if she's into this idea, and that's how it came about. So, just very, very organically.
Very cool. So how many pictures, Zoe?
17.
17 pictures. So how many other pictures did you draw with the project? Like how many like did you get it right on the first time with any of them, or did you do a few of them over and over again to get the right
I did a few
idea?
of them over and over.
Yeah.
Can I show you my favorite one?
Sure, you can show me your favorite one. Absolutely. One sec here.
Trying to find it.
No worries.
And she wasn't that stingy with the revisions either, Joshua. I was worried that she'd be a little bit too precious with her work, but if we had some ideas with her, she was very receptive and open.
Oh, but that's honestly very mature. Like one of the hardest things a lot of artists struggle with is letting go of their work.
Mm-hmm.
But if she can do it, more power to her.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite picture.
So why is that one your favorite?
It's
Very
fun.
well done. Is it the punch? Is it the action? Or is just that scene in the book was what made you go, cool?
It's the punch.
The punch?
Yeah. I happen to also know whose favorite it also is.
Oh,
My
what is
mom.
We like the action.
Action's good. Action tells a great story, right? It's hard to do something when still. It's all good. All good. I'm just doing I'm doing a little quick like advertisement here because that I'm a trained professional and something like that.
Thank you.
I'm a trained professional.
That's right. And your mom will tell you the same thing I'm telling you. That just means that you consciously know you don't know what you're doing. So
that's why you're good, Zoe, because you don't know how good you are. You're just drawing your pictures.
I just draw whatever I want to draw.
Exactly.
That's actually, if you can keep that, Zoe, that's the best thing. When I started drawing 3 years ago. And the thing was, I was like, I was afraid I would be terrible. And then I was like, so what if I'm terrible? I'm going to have fun. So I've drawn a lot since then. So I'm actually drawing my first book next year.
Hooray and half a jack.
And hooray and half a jack. That's what it's going to be.
More than 18 pictures?
I don't know. It's going to be so it's a partial comic at the beginning, and it's actually modeled off streaming. I'm using stream as like my model base for it. And then so I think I'm going to use a vlog kind of thing. The internal part of the book is actually prose with illustrations peppered in, and there's just a couple comic scenes throughout. So it's a story actually about learning how to draw as much. It's a Honors Fahrenheit 451, but from a point of view of how art can bring life to the world. Right. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on next year. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So now, like I said, Zoe kind of made, I just saw Zoe's little message, private chat.
This is nothing. Chat. She's very well behaved in this chat versus our other podcast.
Well, I don't know. I've already interviewed Hunter. Like I had Hunter on the show about 3 weeks ago. So I had a bit of an idea what to expect.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
I would like to show you some pictures I drew like a couple of years ago.
Sure, you can totally do that.
This one I drew in 3rd grade.
Wow, that's really cool.
Not the best at drawing dragons.
Yes.
Or ships.
Yes.
I drew this one like 18,000 years ago.
That's
So
cool.
old.
Roses.
Yeah, it's
Very
so
well
old.
It's all good.
And there's a bird saying zzz.
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 Why does the bird say zzz?
I don't know if you it's I don't know, I think it's sleeping. Can you see the
Yeah,
bird?
okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Saying zzz for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, and this one is really cool.
Okay. Which one we got here?
I drew this one entirely out of Sharpies. Isn't it such a pretty heart?
Yeah. Kind of looks like it's been. Oh, you went all in. You went all in. Surprise.
The reveal. Veins.
Yeah. No, it's kind of fun. That it's kind of fun to see that. It's kind of fun to see how someone evolves. Like, right? It's not. How do I put this? Like it's cool because there's a fearlessness that I think all of us can if we can keep it, we go a very, very long way.
Yeah. I think the only intention I had for this project was that I don't care who reads it, if anyone buys it, if no one buys it. Like I just keep saying, I just wanted to finish it so that I could have it as a memory to my son, and most importantly, read it to him as a bedtime story, whether he likes it or not, before he gets too old for me to read him a bedtime story. So
how old's your son?
he just turned 4. Yeah. And
You got a few years. You got a few years left. Like I know parents who read for the kids well until even around 10 years old. Kids will like heck. I'll tell you a fun story. I had a girlfriend who actually really enjoyed it when I read to her. You never outgrow it, right? So it's just the kind of stories you tell are different, obviously, as they get older. Yeah. But everybody loves a good story. Everybody.
Zoe, does your mom still read to you?
No.
Did you like it when she did? Did she ever?
She read to me before, I think.
You didn't like it? You think?
I think. I was when I was like 28 years old. Yeah.
28 years old.
Yeah.
So you're aging backwards.
I'm 1,500 years old.
You're 1,500. Okay, gotcha.
You're Benjamin Button.
That's right. Or Merlin. One of the two.
What should I draw?
What's your favorite thing to draw?
I don't know. What should I draw?
Okay. What's your favorite cartoon?
Sanrio?
Draw her.
It's not a person, but okay, I'll draw one of them.
Yeah, draw one of them. Okay, I'm not cool, Zoe. I'm not cool at all. Yes, I don't know what's current. I actually discovered the other day that the Looney Tunes have a cartoon again.
Who does?
Looney Tunes. They have a cartoon again.
Bringing it back.
It's already back, right? And it's just like, wow. It's a modern. Don't worry about it. Tell you what, Zoe, I'll show you one of my drawings when you're done that one.
Okay.
Fair? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But no, man, like things how it could go around and come around, and I've learned that I'm just not cool anymore. I'm too busy creating, and I'm okay with not being cool.
No, that's good. Like if you're trying to be cool, then it's going to be inauthentic. People are going to see right through it, and like this guy's trying too hard. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, I'm deliberately uncool. Just ask Katie.
Yeah.
Just I learned like I don't have time to keep up, and as you get older, you realize like it's not really about keeping up; it's about what you enjoy, and you figure that out as you go in life, and you enjoy those things. And not saying you shouldn't try something new once in a while, but like I think I've seen 2 movies this year, which is the first for me. I haven't seen the movies in a long time. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie. like that, and then prior to that, it was Avengers Endgame. So I mean, it's been a while since I've tried stuff, but you got to be create. Like I said, when you're creating, I find you just create, and then you don't worry about what's the outside can be a distraction. That's me though.
No, 100%. Do you find any criticism or any type of roadblocks when you're, writing your books or drawings or what have you?
So drawing has been interesting because I've gotten some really nasty responses from my drawings.
Really?
But again, but the thing is, I don't. But drawing is a different headspace for me because it's like it's the one art form I have where I don't worry about being good. Funnily enough, I got my first art commission this year.
Your first what commission?
Art commission.
Oh wow! Congrats.
Yeah, and actually, right after one of my worst criticisms, I put a drawing up, and someone asked me how long I've been drawing. I said 3 years. But again, it's a fun thing for me, not an uber serious thing. And they give me this. They embarrassed me super hard for being not be able to draw, learning how to draw. I've had my 2 worst criticisms this year. That was one of them. The other one, I did a drawing at a bar. I drew a girl at the bar. She did not like it one bit. She actually ripped it up after I gave it to her. Yeah, she really despised it. But those are the worst 2. But right after I got one of them, I got my first art commission. It's like literally within the same hour. So I've learned I am okay with pissing people off.
Yeah.
I'm okay with making people happy. What I'm not okay with is indifference.
Yeah, at least you're getting a reaction from them. That's better than nothing.
Yeah, well, that's all I want. Like, that's all you want as an artist. You don't look. There's gonna be people that no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, they're gonna hate everything you do. Ooh, that's cool.
Who?
Oh, I got some comments on the air too.
It's better in person, not on camera.
Yes, I will. Rebecca, I will.
Hi, Rebecca.
Zoe says hi. She will say hi. Hey,
What should Zoe draw next? Oh, hey.
Well, actually, I made a promise to Zoe before she finishes drawing here. I gotta go.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Show me your drawings.
Yeah. So when we have a little more time, hold on a second here. So I gotta bring I gotta show you something of mine. Here's something of mine.
Cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'll show you one more here. See if I can show you my favorite one in here. I'm just gonna look for a couple.
Can I do a recreation of your drawing that you just showed me?
Sure, you can do that. So, you need a picture?
I think I can do a recreation of that.
Then do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Like you're doing a cover song, Zoe, of an original.
Yeah. Let's see. I tried a couple. Take a look here. This is and this is another one I'll show. This is from a famous video game I loved to play as a kid. Eric recognizes it. Recognizes it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What is it?
Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I've drawn a lot of Zelda and perhaps because in my graphic novel, that's the stream game, is actually Ocarina of Time because I'm old.
No, I'm with you. We're right there. Oh, good. Thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, she mentioned I wrote a book called Bye Bye Boner, and
okay,
it's an ABC book about things to think about when you don't want a boner.
Yeah,
that was also inspired by my son.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on what's in front of you at the time.
Right? Yeah. My son's boner was in front of me, so I got put that thing away, son.
Yeah.
So
that book has helped me so. Okay, gotcha.
Makes a good white elephant gift. Get it for your boss.
That's right. Here you go. Here you go.
Or stop hitting on me. Read this book.
Yes.
So no, that
Yeah.
was mainly me just playing with. Cause I never knew that Kindle publishing was a thing. And once Katie told me about that, I'm like, what? I can
Yeah.
make a book and put it on Amazon. Let me do
You
it.
can.
So that was kind of a test, and now Wild Rave Baby was the more finished product.
Can I see the picture of the lady one more time?
Sure. Give me a second here. So we got a question from her, but first I'm going to show this, and then I'll get Rebecca's question up on the air.
All right, thank you.
No worries. That's a good question because you're doing
Yeah, I mean, honestly, whatever sparks my imagination, and if I can afford Zoe again, then possibly, there's always misadventures we're getting into and little life lessons, and I think if anything, it's just a fun way to honor my son and keep our memories alive as him like a little innocent baby before everything the world affects him. I say baby, but he's a toddler. He's always going to be a baby to me. But
little
no,
baby.
nothing hard planned. If something pops up, I'll run it by the boss over here, and that's it. Yeah.
So you got a good compliment. It has a great realistic innocent vibe. That's a good thing.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah.
how old is he?
He just turned 4.
That's right.
So yeah, we took him to Life is Beautiful music festival here in downtown Vegas the past couple years, and it's just so cool seeing him in like this different environment. He had his big old earphones on, like in the book, and he had his little jumpsuit on, and he was it's so weird because a lot of music festivals and raves, like it's not all ages. So to see a little 2-year-old in the crowd, people are like, "What the heck? That is so awesome! Look at this kid!" So we
Oh,
were like, "Yeah."
in metal shows, you'll see everything.
Oh, really?
You will see everything.
Oh,
So I went to an Amon Amarth concert once there.
yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Nice.
Expose
Yeah,
all the kids to all the experiences.
that's
Yay.
right. So anyway, I'm roaring in the front there like every other metalhead in the building. All of a sudden I get boom in the head. It's like, oh, and I look up. There's like a wheelchair being like going crowd surfing or being crowd surfed across. Like and depending on what metal show you go to, like anything can happen. Like I've seen barefoot metal players. I've seen kids. That's a little different. They won't let them in the mosh pits, but I've seen kids there.
Yeah.
It depends on the show. It depends on the show. Obviously, some metal bands you're not going to see it. Hey, listen, it would, Rebecca. It would be hilarious if baby crowd surfing was a thing. Except if it was your baby. If it was your baby, you'd be terrified, right? Because the only way to chase the baby down, is for you to go up too. You'd actually have to go to your guys up, and they would grab. Everybody lift you up. You'd be on the run. Yeah.
Funny.
Wait till she's a little older. She has to be able to. She has to be. It would not be fair right now. No, it wouldn't just be fair right now if you take her to a metal show.
I don't think the metal mosh pit will be ready for Zoe. They would.
I know. Actually, they wouldn't know what to do with Zoe. Actually, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They like honestly, metalheads are some of the sweetest people. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Mr. Yeah.
What else should I draw?
Okay, let's think. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. That before you draw again, if that's okay, Miss Zoe. What was your favorite story growing up?
Either Matilda or Charlotte's Web.
I like. I'm not as familiar with Matilda. I know Charlotte's Web. Why do you like Charlotte's Web?
This one
was very sad.
Dies, right? The spider dies.
Yeah.
The spider dies at the end.
Yeah.
Spider dies at the end. Right. But I mean, it's an odd form of friendship in one sense because she saves the pig's life. Yes, they are.
Those are very melancholy books, Zoe. What are you trying to say?
Matilda is kind of sad.
They're both sad, right?
You know,
No,
they
they're
both
not.
do.
Matilda's not that sad.
Oh.
It's not that sad.
No.
And maybe because you're so bubbly and happy, you have some inner angst that we need to get out. Is that what you're?
Well, no. See, that's why that's the other reason why Rebecca wants to take her to a metal show. You see,
Oh,
because that's the you get all that stuff out in a healthy way, right? So you can avoid the therapy. You just hit each other for a while, and everybody feels good. So,
My goodness. Yeah.
so okay. It's not what okay to draw. Okay. So favorite story, favorite cartoon. You don't have a favorite thing to draw.
What about a flower?
You could draw a flower if you want to draw a flower. What kind of flower would you like to draw?
A wilting flower.
Oh,
Actually,
wilting? I can do
You
that.
want a wilting
Wilting.
flower?
Wilting.
Actually,
Wilting.
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 I want to add to this. Can I add to this?
Yeah.
So what I want is a giant mushroom, and I want an even bigger flower leaning over the mushroom.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Wait, is it a giant wilting flower?
It can be any kind of flower you want. It just has to be bigger than the mushroom.
Yeah.
It has to dwarf the mushroom.
A dying flower over a mushroom.
That's
Oh,
right.
I know what to draw.
It's a metaphor of
That's right.
what have you. Yeah.
That's
How long
right.
have you been doing this show, Joshua?
Almost 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
You're episode 1038.
Holy
Just to give you
crap.
yeah. Like I've done a lot of these, and that's and I'm adding to it next week. I'm interviewing an agent actually on the show. I'm filming it actually on location next week.
What kind of agent? A book agent?
Mhm.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I've had New York Times bestsellers on the show. I've had people just getting started. I've had people of all walks of life. I was done on purpose that way, because Miss Zoe, if she decides to continue down this path, could become an incredible illustrator. And I can say I knew her.
Wow.
Yes, it's true. It's
You
true.
learn a
I
lot.
knew all kinds.
You're like getting a free education in whatever, huh, Joshua? It's like you're
Pretty
just
much. That's it. I've learned so much doing the show. I am actually doing a podcast course actually right now,
Wow.
building it up and putting it together, because I've not just done this show. I've also produced 3 other shows. So I've done other shows for other clients as well. So I've gotten to the point where I'm not just doing my own thing. I'm actually helping other people get their stuff up the ground too.
cool.
Yeah.
What would you say is what would you say is like a really well put together podcast or video podcast? Not just like I'm interested in that subject, but from production value to their guests to their topics, like that's a solid one.
Rogan's great. Like whether people like him or don't, he's fantastic. He has great production values. He has a very, very, very decent conversations. It's long. That's a long form show. If you want something short form, it's not necessarily a conversational podcast, but my buddy Kevin does some really, really fun watch alongs, like some really, really fun ones with his sister Erin. They're both actors, actresses, and writers. Mm-hmm. So they did a Buffy podcast for the longest time that was absolutely hilarious. Right? They're right. So they do good shows. Interview shows, the real challenge with them is to break them, is knowing what your format is and how to break it when you need to. Spilling Ink is a solid show. And I'm not just saying that because she's in the room. They have a very clear formula and goal of what they try to accomplish. Go Indie Now is decent. The panel show are always fascinating and they're fun to do. The thing about panel shows, a lot of panel shows are done, if you're looking at it from a production value perspective, in a perfect world, everybody's in a studio. The beautiful thing about StreamYard, Zoom, and some of these other tools is you don't necessarily need to do that all the time. Mm-hmm. Yes, she is. So like Zoe can show people out at 10. Katie's had more practice. So, all right.
No, that's fine. Throw her in. She will.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is the thing about it is with a good show, you got to work within your limitations somewhat, but also like you got to know who and what people are. And one of the things I've learned doing the show is like, okay, I have a very specific kind of concept in my head, and the limitations of the show, like I wouldn't call this necessarily a great production value show. Some of that's beyond my control. Some of it is. Now what's in my control, I have. Like I have a pretty good camera. I have a very decent microphone. I could get a better headset, right?
Yeah.
Katie does have swords. She really does, Rebecca. So you got to be good ish. She's okay for a little bit. You goofing off.
Yeah.
But I say it like that because that's the thing, right? You can look at a show. It's not about the production values as much as people think in some way. In some ways, it's also about the content of your show, right?
Yeah.
And what's about, right? Like I've talked to people about, what would you rather get hit by, Mike Tyson or a car? I've talked to people about PTSD. I've talked to people about I just had since I broke 1,000, I've had 2 science episodes. I literally interviewed a rocket scientist. I literally interviewed another dude about AI. And then I've had a conversation about addiction. Like I've had, those are more serious shows. Then I've had people like on my last show I had, we talked about what is real, what is reality on one hand, but we also were just goofing off about confidence and just like how we see the world, right? And in our own innate ways. So conversations go wherever they go. What I want them to do is reflect the people I'm talking to, who I'm talking to, if that makes sense.
No. So, it's authentic and it's a good conversation.
Yeah.
So, where are you going, Zoe? She's like going everywhere. Oh my
God. She's grabbing tools. She's putting some intricate detail into this.
I see that. Oh my goodness.
That's right. She decided she wanted to draw. So Zoe.
Yeah.
Next time you come on the show, if you want to come back, we'll do just a drawing show. Is that a deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like a Fremont street artist taking suggestions, live drawings.
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? So like I said, I've done this for a long time, and so one of the things I've learned is I've learned how to be patient and listen to people. Learn boundaries. The show's taught me a lot about confidence and boundaries, like doing as many of these as I've done. So so that's the big thing. I know a lot of artists do well, and I can tell you what the most successful artists have in common with the ones just starting, and it's amazing what sticks. So,
what is that? What is the most?
Their passion.
Yeah,
they have the same passion. I find the big difference between the ones that really succeed. Now, some of it's luck, sure, but it's that belief in themselves. I find the biggest thing that artists, I think, struggle with this even more than athletes do, right? We don't have a definitive measurement of how good we are. And because we don't have the definitive measurement, it's very easy. I saw a post today when I woke up this morning about a guy was looking like why my work doesn't have curse words or certain things. That's why it doesn't sell. And I'm like, that's not why yours isn't selling. Like there is that almost like that I'm successful but, and the ones that really do succeed get rid of those buts. Right? They throw them out. Like, I'm going to do this. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to do this. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to do this. It's not about because everybody fails.
Mhm.
It's but they've learned how to deal with it, and when their success came, they were smart enough to, when they got it, to keep it. Right? I think there's a certain wisdom in that. And I think that's part of the process. I think what a lot of indie creators struggle with, um, all honestly, is two things. One, talking about their work,
Mhm.
and two, believing that their work can really be successful. Like and that's those are two things. Like you can't fully guarantee the second, but I do feel like there is something about like shooting yourself in the foot. And I think a lot of artists don't realize how they can do that by saying, well, it won't happen. It's like, no, it might. Like, it really might. You put something out there, you never know where it's going to go.
Mhm. Wise words.
Yeah.
What'd you say the biggest mistake people make when trying to start a podcast are?
They think they have enough to say initially.
They haven't.
Honestly, everybody goes, I got lots of things I want to talk about. And then you go about 2 to 3, 4 episodes in.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Some of you don't. Right? And that's okay. Right? But that's part of the trial process too. Right? That's part of the whole trial process. You make the assumption no one's going to listen to you at first.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. Like, no one's going to listen to you. I've been around so long that people sometimes take me for granted that I'm there.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Some people do. But I also realize, like, there's a shelf life. I've done over 1,000 episodes. There are times when people like come on these shows and they've done these religiously for hundreds of episodes, but then they walk away, and then another group of people come in and take their place, because there's a cycle of all this stuff too. I say a lot of the same things over and over again too, and I know that, but that's what I believe and that's what I say. And it's not because I'm being necessarily boring. It's just I'm having a different conversation, and these are the things that matter to me. So these are the things that come up, and I've accepted that. And again, that's part of the whole process. If you're going to do this long form, like, what happens is, one of the biggest things is you got to realize is, to get to 1,000 episodes, which is a feat, you realize, like, all these things. People are going to listen. People are not going to listen. It doesn't matter. It's about what you want to do.
Wow.
That's really, really good.
Good job.
Yes.
You know what? I number one, I hate the sound of my voice, which I'm sure a lot of people do. Like, so
I still do after 1,000 episodes, dude. It's part of the process.
I toyed with the idea of, like, yeah, podcasts, but it's like, yeah, I want to make sure that, number one, if no one listened to it, would I still enjoy doing it? And something like that, not that just being Katie, but like maybe doing some jujitsu podcasts or fighting podcasts where I could like talk about martial arts, or comment on martial arts scenes, something. I would still enjoy doing it, like you said, Joshua. Like, if I want to go for like 1,000 episodes, I don't want to just do something that I'm trying to do because I think people want to listen.
Honestly, straight up, I don't generally talk business on the air, but if you really are serious about it, like I said, I've produced other shows.
Yeah.
So if you ever get serious about it, give me a shout. Like, I definitely can help you with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. My specialty, ironically, is education. I've done an immigration show. I've done a massage therapy show.
Cool.
Right. Well, yeah. So, all right, we got to get Miss Zoey involved here. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk. Let's talk. So are you two, like, do you train her?
Yeah. I've been her instructor for how many years, Zoey?
3?
Almost 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things we do is, I like to teach legit martial arts to regular people. Like, we're not We're not one of those McDojos where you pay for a black belt. At the same time, we're not one of those schools where they just focus on solely competing. So we take
Com-
the
com- competition's overrated in some ways. In
yeah.
some ways.
And at the end of the day, like people just want to be healthy, be around cool people, and know how to defend themselves if they really get in a fight. And so, yeah, Zoe started with us almost 3 years ago, and then we roped Katie along, and now they're a big part of our studio. So
It started with Hunter for one day, and
that's
then
right.
he didn't want to, so then I went.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go.
So do you still do belts?
We do, but it's not like super structured. Every 6 months, you're going to test. We just had belt testing for some of my students, but it's really just more of a slightly subjective, mainly objective thing. So if you can demonstrate a move and I see you're getting better in class, then you'll test. And our testing is pretty simple. It's just you're doing an MMA match against one or 10 other kids, in a row. Not
What about
nothing. Huh?
what about Naga?
Yeah, and your mom said you might want to do that. Uh, I need to see you in action first before I make my decision because also
I got to see her in action. She won her competition. She put someone down, right?
yeah.
Yeah, she likes the rear neck. I told her she likes the rear naked choke. I like the front face lock because
Front face.
it
What's that?
you just grab them up and put them in and just lock it in like a neck crank kind of thing.
Oh, like a guillotine?
Yeah, it's a guillotine. Like it's a
Okay.
guillotine, a front guillotine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wrestlers call it. Well, okay, professional wrestling is what I watched as a kid, but front face lock, real life, that wins fights by itself more often than
Oh
not.
yeah, that's one of the moves I teach to when I do a women's self defense class. It's called the guillotine, where you're looking at the person in front of you. You
Yeah.
pull their head down, put your wrist blade under their neck, and squeeze. You don't have to drop to their legs and take them down. You can just literally reach up and grab their head. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you do plan and visit Rebecca, you'll get a private lesson with these two. See how you
Yeah.
do. But yeah, Zoe's
So-
referring to a big citywide competition here they have called NAGA, the North American Grappling Association. It's a jiu-jitsu tournament they do a couple times a year, and it's one of the only tournaments we do. So yeah, we'll see if Zoe's ready. Maybe if you can escape mount or a choke from your mom, I'll agree to let you compete. We'll see how you do.
Uh-oh.
I think I can.
We'll see.
I think okay.
Oh
Yeah, Zoe,
no.
what belt are you, Zoe? I forgot.
You said purple the
Yeah,
last time.
I think so.
So what's oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
It goes from white belt, yellow belt, orange belt, purple belt, blue belt, green belt, red belt,
Red
brown belt,
and then
and black belt.
Yeah, so Zoe's like beginning intermediate of the kids program. I don't have any black belts yet. I for a number of reasons, but especially kids. No offense, but I will never have a minor as a black belt. Like I really believe that if you're a black belt, you should be able to defend yourselves against a bigger adult. And a lot of kids can't. Like you're gonna tell me,
no, no. I mean, that's why they have weight classes in fighting. Like
yeah,
they like that. Yeah, that's hard to do. Like period. Right.
mhm,
Even with training, if I'm fighting somebody that's like 60 pounds smaller than me, yeah, he might throw me around. I'm not saying he wouldn't, but I mean, what they have to do to take me down versus what I have to do to take them down is significantly less.
right,
So that's why there's now put me in the same weight class. Oh, that guy's going to turn me into a pretzel. It's going to be like, hey, I'm
right.
going to make a balloon animal out of you. Giraffe, right? But I mean, but that's why there's weight classes. Like it's hard, right? It's hard to do, and you got to understand. Like people don't understand the gravity. Like, when you look at a lot of movies, you are. Hold on. Oh, see, look at that.
The only time that would ever happen, Zoe, is if there's like a big suitcase full of money in your hand when you take me down, or it's like a birthday present I give you. That's it. But you're
Or,
never
or at least right now, if she practices for another 5, 6 years, we'll see. At that point, you might have your work cut out for you, right?
never,
At
never will
that
you
point,
take me down, Zoe. I'm
okay.
sure now, unless you like find me in a dark alley and you put like a bunch of
Bag over your head.
yeah, and you like chloroform me and make me trip on something. Maybe that's like the only way. But mainly like, yeah, if you bribe me or jump me and I'm drunk or have a weapon, I could still run from that. So
I'll throw it.
I totally subscribe to bribery, Rebecca. I totally do. Bribery is
yeah,
another form of power for sure.
yeah. So
I held all the power
what is
in
that
my
sword from?
hands.
What is that? What is that from?
Yeah, that could be He-Man. That could be She-Ra.
Oh,
I have the power. That's what I think of anyway. But again, I'm old and out of touch, so I have no idea.
oh my goodness. Do you bring that to like Ren fairs, Zoe?
Yeah, yeah. Your mom would not appreciate you throwing her.
It's
But
a
I-
training sword, so it's up to me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. That's
No edge.
Oh,
See, there's no blade.
is it pointy? Oh
No blade.
my
It's not very
goodness.
sharp. You can
Okay.
see it won't hurt no one.
It's a steel, but there's no edge to it.
Oh, it's kind of funny because if you win Naga, Zoe, they actually give the kids samurai swords as first place prizes,
I
and
probably won't get first place. I'll
they're
probably get
sharp too.
like fifth place.
Oh, we'll see.
but that's okay. I mean, I could see it. Also, I am slightly terrified because in all this time you were plotting, all this time like we were plotting, and Rebecca was needling her on. I was watching those gears work.
I must win.
Yes, I'm watching those gears work. Right, and I'm like, uh-oh. That's all I'm gonna say. Is just like I've seen those. I have a sister, so I see those gears in her head. I'm like, oh shit.
Right?
It's like
Just be nice to her.
Oh no,
Good.
I'm relatively nice to my sisters. Like as siblings go,
Yeah.
we actually get along well, but it's as siblings go. There's always a little bit because they're your sibling, you can do more stuff to them, and that goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know. I saw the scheming, but her eyes twinkle. Her eyes legitimately twinkle, Rebecca.
Very, very
But,
tricky.
Yes, you got your work cut out for you. But so because I know Zoe's going to be getting going soon. Zoe has to go soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 2 questions for you, Zoe, and then we'll see what's left. We'll see what's left.
I held all the power.
You have all the power. So actually, see, so actually we'll end with that. When you walk away, we can commentate on this, which is Zoe's match.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah. Yes. So his voice is right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
So
other girl there is Lena.
Lena. Yep, tough match. So yeah, this is her belt testing, her last belt testing, and I have the kids do striking, punches and kicks, and also
Wait, that was the
grappling.
best thing.
Oh no, this was. You're right. This
That
was
was the opening.
like our grand opening, and I had them in an exhibition match. And Lena is one of our top kid students at the time, and I know Zoe's always down for a scrap. So this was this bout.
yes. Is there a button to hit? You want to hit the button? There it goes. Yeah. So as you can see, folks, the thing I looked at, she's actually got half decent footwork, Zoe.
Mhm. No, very
I
very
think
good
that's
footwork.
only hitting her back.
And then she just gets behind her. Muscles are down, like really just muscles are down. That it's over here. I think it's over right here. It's pretty hard to escape a scissor like that.
It was really fun to do. fun when I'm choking people in a match. That's why I love grappling so much, and I get sad when I don't get to do a choke.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the biggest thing that Zoe has going for her is her tenacity, right? She just charged forward, and then even though the takedown may not have been the most technically sound, she still accomplished the job, stayed on her back and tapped her out. But, you know, now we just got to harness that a little more, because it's tough when we compete too, because we do both punching and kicking Joshua. And when we compete, we're going against schools that just do jujitsu, just do grappling. So we're at an automatic disadvantage because we don't train as much as them in their specialty. We do very well in these tournaments, but that's why I want to make sure she's super prepared because it's probably like barely a month away, something like that.
Well, I mean, I mean, also,
Wait,
it
some
also
little girls like riding horses. What? I didn't get to read it.
So
Some
like
little
riding her
girls
opponents.
like riding horses. Zoe likes riding her opponents across the mat.
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
never interested in horses.
Rebecca,
Mhm.
be somewhat good. I'm gonna say be somewhat good. But no, I would say but the thing is, okay, it depends on what the goals are. Like your goal is self-defense.
Right.
Let's say it was more competitive. You wouldn't be doing jujitsu either. You probably would be doing straight MMA.
Right.
Right. Which is not jujitsu. It's not dirty boxing. It's not kickboxing. It's a combination.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of right. I don't know what to put that up.
Yeah, we take these competitions with a grain of salt because
Yeah.
we know that we're not the best jujitsu school, but at the same time we don't practice for that. We practice if there's a real fight. Like I guarantee you, like if our jujitsu is better than if a jujitsu school would strike, like
Well,
that's
it's
what
also. I mean, jujitsu. There's a difference between no gi and gi.
right.
Like
And we
there's a
only do no gi.
huge
Yeah.
difference. What? You're
We
right.
only do no gi.
Yeah. Even when you compete, are you competing with people with gis?
Yeah, but people that compete in gi jujitsu, it's kind of like it goes hand in hand. Uh, if I were to put on a gi and do gi jujitsu, I would get tapped out because it's a whole nother animal. It's like you got this piece of cloth on me that can kill me. Like I don't know how to manipulate that. I just know how to do
Yeah,
it with my arms.
but I mean, it's also like again, we're talking about this from levels of self defense.
Mm-hmm.
Gi jujitsu is probably the one strictly for competitions. There's a lot of gi manipulation and stuff like that, but that's
Yeah.
strictly a competitive one.
Right.
No gi jujitsu is self defense, but also, but again, it does have limitations because you're not punching anybody,
Exactly.
right? And right, you're not punching anybody. It's still effective. Like judo's effective too for similar reasons because judo can still take somebody down. You can lock somebody up so they can't do anything.
Oh, and you get slammed
But
on your head one time, it's over. So yeah.
yeah, so I mean, it is effective, but having the ability to throw a punch on top of having the ability to grapple someone to the ground, you have a little bit of both. Yes.
Yeah, that's number one thing. So, an easy way to explain that is if a student comes in, I'm not teaching them to punch and kick and do jump kicks in the air. I'm teaching them if someone's on top of them, how do they get out, and then how do you throw a simple yet effective strike? Like, yeah, that's what it really boils down to. And of course, when we compete, and we could do fancier moves and techniques, but at the end of the day, like all our techniques have to be grounded in self-defense. It has to work on the street for the regular person.
And which is what I'm talking about right here is that in this particular case, I mean, competitions are nice, but they're not the goal. The goal is so Zoe can handle her. By the time Zoe is older and wiser and stuff, maybe still conniving, she's still going to probably be plotting. I can just see it in her eyes.
Yeah, she'll be able to defend herself on the playground if another kid her size or bigger were able to attack her. So
I don't even play at the playground.
Just the metaphor of I don't know what you guys do nowadays. Whatever you do, what do you do during the lunch if you don't go to play on the playground?
I don't play at the playground. I cheer on the field.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I have
Yeah,
a team, okay, and we're really good.
Yay.
Yes.
Cheer.
Anyways, I have to go.
I know you have to go. So before you go, Miss Zoe, let's
Yeah.
do this again. What? So you said you point out your favorite illustration. What was the hardest illustration you had to do in the book? Why don't we end with
The
this stuff?
hardest?
The hardest.
Oh.
Yeah. So why was that so hard?
There's just so much going on. It was really hard to do.
Ah.
It was one of my first two.
Oh wow.
Oh.
But but the thing is, so I'm going to say this: hooray for congratulations, Zoe, on finishing the book. You rock and/or roll, and
Rock and roll.
that's right. That's right. And I hope, like I said, you're more than welcome to come back on the show again. If you do, we'll draw.
Next week.
I don't know about next week, but what do you think about
Next.
Got a rehab.
Wait, no, that's
Gotta be-
Christmas. Sorry.
Zoe-
Next week.
Zoe overdose. So
Yeah, we'll
3
talk.
weeks.
We'll talk.
yeah.
We'll talk.
Yay.
But Zoe, congratulations on doing your book.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And thanks for having us, Joshua. I enjoyed talking to you.
Well, you can stay for a couple more minutes. There's just a couple.
Okay.
We'll do a proper plug and stuff before you disappear. So
Okay.
Zoe,
Huh?
peace. Take care of
Peace.
yourself.
Bye.
Take care of yourself. All right.
Ah.
So the Zoe show is
The
over,
tornado.
at least for now. Actually, and Rebecca, to answer your question, I do know the story of you trying to have Katie pick a fight with a giant.
What is that story? I don't know.
Yeah, so the story goes, it was at let's see if I got this right. It was at a convention. Like she was trying to convince one of their mutual friends to kind of spar with Katie. Now Katie's that's the thing. I don't think he does. So I don't know if I have all the details right, but I do remember the story. Basically, it comes down to I think it was at Phoenix Fan Fest. I could be wrong about the location, but Rebecca was trying to kind of plot and control two of the people there. It was Katie. I forget who the other guy was by name, but she's trying to get them to spar. I think it came down to the conclusion that Katie has the technique, but he had the reach, right? And I don't know if that. I don't think it happened. My money would be on Katie. Just would
Well, I always tell my students, especially my young students, to only use their martial arts in self-defense. But if she defended herself and won, and it was on film for marketing purposes, I would be okay with that.
Okay. Gotcha. So, well, Eric doesn't condone the use of it. I am all for this. Yes.
Oh.
There you go. Combat Con.
7 feet tall. Okay.
There you go. That's the full story.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
We can set up the real match at my dojo with waivers and mouthpieces. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, exactly. But do keep in mind what I said, Rebecca. The 7 feet advantage is not to be taken lightly, even if he is terrible at grappling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I said, better training for sure would get to Katie, but like I said, 7 feet that is difficult. That is difficult to overcome. I had a buddy who was actually an amateur wrestler in high school. He was 5'3". He was built like by the time this guy was senior in high school, he was built like a brick house, right?
Tank, yeah.
Right, but he would wrestle my buddies in the 250 pound range, right? All right, 250, and he would hold his own for a while, but they would beat him more than he beat them, right? He would get them once in a while, right? He'd get them once in a while, but that size advantage was such a big deal, like such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean, you gotta give Rebecca credit. She does talk up her friend, right? So
Okay.
So there's two things, and then we can wrap up. Yes. What'd you learn working with Zoe in this form? What did you learn?
Honestly, she was really easy to work with, and that's obviously a testament to Katie, who kept her on task, on schedule. But I was more impressed with her reception to criticism. Granted, I wasn't harsh, and I was very the few tweaks I asked her, was very minor in the big scope of things. But like I mentioned earlier, I thought she'd be a lot more pressured with her work, and especially when I added the digital backgrounds, I was like, I wanted to spice up the picture some, not just it be purely hand drawn. So everything that was behind it, it was just digital images that I added, and the text and all that. And I thought she would have a little bit more of an issue with that, but she didn't. And it just shows her maturity level. And even though she comes off as this hard charging, whirling dervish, she is she's very team oriented. She's a good team player. So
she's got really good discipline, all things
yeah.
considered. I
Mhm.
could see it, and I could see it in her. She's all things considered. She doesn't mind trouble. She likes it a little bit. That's the one thing
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah.
But I noticed that with her, at least, she has the ability to to like, she likes discipline too. Like, she's a little bit of both. She's not above a little mischief, but she actually enjoys the discipline when it's there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the way I work too, like, yeah, I have this school and discipline, respect, but at the same time, that's the whole core of the story, as a parent, make sure your child is loved and taken care of, but at the same time, we're allowed to have fun, as long as they're
Well, well, that's I think that's the whole secret, really, when it comes to the end of the day, is you got to have a mom is a soul, really. Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah. But in some ways, this is what I will say, and I've said this to her mom. She's a more confident version of her mom, and I think overall that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, um, and that's her strength, and as long as that confidence is there, she will go far.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Right. Whereas her brother is more like he has more of Katie's actual temperament, and that's the other thing I noticed between the two of them.
mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so
Yes.
yeah.
That's it. That's it. But anyway, that's not commentary on Katie's personality and kids behind her back. All this stuff said to her face, so it's just like it's not one of those
Right.
surprises. But that
No,
was
no,
the
no.
thing. That was the big difference between the two of them. Is
Mhm.
Zoe felt now naturally confident, and Hunter
Mhm.
is going to have to learn that, and as he gets older, which is, hey, we all got things we need to learn. I still got
Exactly.
things I need to learn at 42 years old.
We're
So I mean,
we're all working. We're all working and growing. If
that's the
not, you're
whole.
lying.
Yeah. All right. I think, Mr. Eric, we have an interview here. What do you think?
What?
I think we have an interview, Mr. Eric. What do you think?
Interview?
I think we have an interview. This is a
Oh yeah.
podcast.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. That is great. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So
I just
let's do a proper plug to close this out. Talk about
sure.
the book. What's it about, and where can people find it?
Uh, Wild Rave Baby. It's on Amazon. Just type in those search terms. Again, it's a children's book, but it was intended to be entertaining to adults too, whether you're in the music festival world and rave culture or not. It just is a way to show the love of a parent, but at the same time, showing yourself some love and appreciation as well. Just because you have a kid doesn't mean your life is over. You're not put in the box of take care of me, pay the bills, no fun. Like, that's something I've really transitioned to as a dad and a business owner. Like, before I had my son Luca, 4 years ago, it was just me. I could do what I want when I wanted, run my business, train when I wanted. But now I can't do that, and that's something I really had to learn and adapt to. And all for the better. And I have an amazing wife, PJ, who helped me write the book and obviously is there for every step of the journey. So that's the main thing, whether you're a parent or not, is just show yourself some appreciation and love, and don't forget about having some fun yourself within the means of reason. Don't take too much candy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, or at least don't get caught. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
don't
neither
get
here
caught.
nor there. That's neither here nor
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So, how can people find you? People want to get a hold of you. How can they get a hold of
I
you?
personally am not on social media, but my gym is Altruist MMA. We're there on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll see a lot of videos I post, highlights from class, and
So Altruist MMA is your like ID.
Altruist.MMA. I don't even know. See, it shows you how much. Yeah, it's there. You'll see our little logo. It's a little rainbow
So
color or whatever. I think
is
is that it?
is that
Let me
it?
check. I don't know if there's a dot or not. Let me see.
Well, let's find out. Let me know if there's a dot. I'll do it right.
Altruist. Oh, there is a dot. Altruist.MMA.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that right again.
There it is. So that's us. Yeah, that's what I post a lot of clips of us in our stories. And then the book's on Amazon. And as much as
Oh
she doesn't,
no, I screwed up again. Yeah, books on Amazon. Yeah, keep
and
going.
as much as she doesn't think so, any sales we get, we're doing 50% profit. So pay for some lunch money for Zoe.
That's
Yeah.
right. So the book is What's the book title again?
Wild Rave Baby.
Let's do this right here.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do this right, because I almost know. As you can tell, I almost know what I'm doing here, Eric. Almost. All right. It's right there too. There you go. I found
Look
it.
at that. There it is.
Yeah, and you already got some ratings too. So I mean,
look at that.
You've done some. You've got some sales. You've got
Those
some
Russian
sales.
bots are doing their jobs. I don't know who
That's
those
right. They
people are.
totally are. They
Yeah.
totally are.
Yeah.
So for people who are more interested in the book, you can go right here.
Yeah.
This is the CA link. Just replace the CA with the com, and you can definitely find it.
Cool.
And folks, that will do it for this episode of Just Joxing.
Yay.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Thank
So
you,
I'm going to
Rebecca.
I'm wrapping up here real quick. I'm sorry, we're almost done. I swear.
Yeah.
Right. I'm wrapping up. So I've been working on getting up a podcast course. Basically, this is me teaching people how to create a podcast, talk about things like how to actually create a show, what a show is, formula, not just for beginners. I got the beginning stuff in there too, but also intermediate and advanced stuff, capturing an audience, how to do that. I've done this for my own podcast, where I've had 2,000 downloads in a week. I've had it for basically a show I did with Capek, which I got to 13,000 views in a week. So I know how to do it. This is basically my way of helping you guys get that stuff off the ground. Take a look at the course if you want to do that here. And folks, this is the last stream as a podcast before Christmas. All right, so I want to wish everybody a happy holiday. I'm still going to be streaming a little bit. I'm going to be experimenting a little bit. I'm going to probably be picking a video game to play out, because that's just what I'm going to be doing on Twitch. I'm going to go in that direction for probably the holidays. But for everybody watching, everybody listening, I will be doing some shows in the new year. How many, I'm not sure, but I will be doing some shows in the new year. But for everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. And I'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Josh.